Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Top 10 Tuesday episode. I am your host, Moods616, and yeah, this is episode 74, I believe. And this week I'm going to be doing something a little different because like I've explained before, that we have like a predetermined list between all the guys of the week's themes. This week's theme was supposed to be top 10 worst cover arts in your collection. I'm really not a big fan of making top 10 worst of lists. I don't get any enjoyment out of doing those type of things. So I kind of did something a little different, and I compiled two other top 10 lists today. One being on an actor, and then one on being another one of my favorite directors. But I ultimately made this one just right now. I was like, oh, I'm going to do this top 10 list. So this is what I'm doing today. For episode 74, I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite Dustin Mills films of all time. He's been directing films since about 2010, and he's got quite a big filmography already, and he's got some more coming out very soon also. He's one of my favorite indie horror directors out there. I think he's very creative. He uses his low budgets very wisely and stuff. So if you've never heard of Dustin Mills before, maybe after this video, maybe look him up. Check out some of these films because he's making a lot of big moves. He's working, doing a lot of great things. He's got a lot of really cool ideas and stuff. So definitely give him a shot. But without further ado, let's get right into this. In at number 10 is a film called Bath Salt Zombies. Now, when this film first got announced by Dustin, I started laughing because he jumped on this instantly. Now, of course, I had just heard of what bath salts were and what they have done to people and stuff, and he made this film so quick, and it literally floored me. It's crazy, but ultimately this one is about Dustin Mills. He's in this film, and he plays a kind of like a chemist, and he's created this this bath salt strand that's not really the best thing in the world, because his customers ultimately are turning into these raving cannibalistic zombies after they take the bath salt. So yeah, now it's just, it gets out of control, and there's a lot of blood and gore in this film. Fun stuff, though, man. I really enjoyed this. Really cool soundtrack. It's interesting, too, because, he doesn't generally have a lot of music like this in his soundtracks, but in his films, but really cool stuff. Of course, the regulars. You'll see all these names throughout this top 10 list, but Brandon Skullkills in this one, Dave Parker, also known as Mr. Parker, here from YouTube. He's really good friends with Dustin Mills, and he's in a lot of his films and works on a lot of the films too. So Bath Salt Zombies, really cool stuff. Definitely give it a shot. You can find all these films at his website for the most part anyways. But in at number 10, in at number 9 is a very unique idea, and it's called Snuff It. Now, what this film is, this is actually Dustin's second attempt at making a film with puppets. I'll talk about one later on in the video, but this one right here is called Snuff It, and it's basically about a world, like a society like we live in now, but puppets coincide with us. So it's really strange, and of course you got like these evil, malicious groups that don't like the puppets, and the puppets, they go through like all these, the same things as like certain races in our society go through. They go through racial times, and just they get hated on, they get oppressed and stuff. But of course there's this malicious group that would abduct these puppets and torture and kill them and stuff. It's just ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous idea, but it's as ridiculous as it sounds, it's quite smart and well written, and there's a lot of political undertones and things that are in this, but it's entertaining. It's really well done. The gore is outrageous, and it's fun. That's ultimately what it's about. It's a really interesting watch. Very short stuff. I'm sure I probably can't show any of these covers, or any of these backs, because there's always nudity in them. Of course, Brandon Skullkills in this one again, and I probably should not pan up there because there's a lot of nudity on these, as you probably just saw. So, but yeah, Snuff It, really interesting idea. Check it out. Fun stuff. I really enjoyed that one. That was number 9. And at number 8 is a film called Her Name is Torment. Now, this is what I was talking about off the top of the video. Was Dustin Mills is working on part 2 and part 3 right now. I believe part 2 is done, and part 3 is just about finished in post-production. And basically what this is, it's about this girl right here who abducts people and tortures them and stuff. So ultimately it's kind of like, I hate using the term torture porn, but in a way it is like that, but it's just so much more than that, though. There's a lot more kind of, subtle and undertones to the film and things that are going on. I really like the way this film opens up. It's a voiceover of Dustin Mills. He plays like a psychiatrist, and he's talking to her, and then it kind of gets into the film, and it's eerie, and it's well done, and it's definitely not for everybody. I know this is kind of like, his film. I think he even said that when he first did this film. He says, definitely not going to be for everybody, but I really enjoyed this. It's pretty crazy stuff. So, if that gives you a general idea of what it is, definitely give it a shot. It's pretty cool. Again, Brandon Skalkill in this, Dustin Mills, who I might add is actually a really good actor. He's very, very good when he appears in his films. So that was number 8. In at number 7 is a film called Night of the Tentacles, which was originally released as, and then it was re-released as Heart Attack. So it is the same film. This is the MVD release, and then this is his independent release. Same film, just different features and stuff like that. Night of the Tentacles is an interesting story about a guy that sells his soul for a new heart. Sells his soul to Satan for a new heart. He's got heart issues, and so he figures this is probably the best way of saving his life. But unfortunately for him, his heart basically is a monster, and it needs blood to survive, so you need to start killing people. And it's an interesting kind of film. It's got like kind of like a love story in there too and stuff, and it's really entertaining. The first time I watched this film, I had no idea what I thought about it, and I had to rewatch it, and I was like, this is a really cool film, and it's really grown on me after multiple watches. But I really enjoy this film. So if you've seen this film only once and you didn't really care for it, give it another shot. It's actually really well made. It's really cool stuff. Of course, Brandon Skalkill, he stars in this film again among people. Yeah, really good stuff. Night of the Tentacles, give this one a shot. I think it's really cool, and that's the artwork for that. And here's Heart Attack, aka Night of the Tentacles. Pretty cool stuff. Believe you can get, I don't know if you can get both these on the website, but I'm not 100% sure. So this one actually, yeah, it does have the features on it. But yeah, so Heart Attack, cool stuff. And that was number 7. And number 6 is his very first puppet film that he had made. And this is his debut film, and it's called The Puppet Monster Massacre. And it's all puppets in this one, and it's gory, it's ridiculous, and completely over the top, but so much fun. This is the original release of it, signed by Dustin Mills, and this is the re-release, which is kind of cool actually, because I only picked it up on DVD, but it does have a bunch of commentary tracks and stuff like that, which are pretty entertaining. I've listened to one of them. It's pretty good stuff. So Puppet Monster Massacre, but pretty much know what you're getting yourself into with this one. It's puppets that it's really well done, utilizes his budget quite well. It's gory. It's so much fun. It's just very fast paced and fun, like really, really fun. That's all I can say. So that's kind of what the storyline is there. But yeah, when I first watched this movie, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I thought it was going to be like, I mean, it is really low budget, but it's really well done. Like I said, his films always like to showcase, a bigger budget, which he is not using. It's really interesting. So, but yeah, Puppet Monster Massacre, check this one out. Puppet movie, great stuff. In at number 6. In at number 5 is Zombie A-Hole. This is the original cut and the original release by MVD, and this one right here is about 20 minutes longer than the director's cut. That's right, the director's cut is about 20 minutes shorter, and I really enjoy the director's cut of this film because it is shorter, and I'll tell you why. Because this movie right here is a really interesting one. It's got like these 3 kind of random characters that kind of come together, and they're trying to kill off this guy, Zombie A-Hole, who is he's killing off like twins to get power from them and things like that. The storyline's really wacky and crazy, but it's up to these 3 people to kind of stop this person. Yeah, looks like her name is One Eye right there. But Brandon Skalkill, I guess, of course, in this one. But yeah, this one's really interesting. It's got a lot of really interesting grindhouse filmmaking. But the problem is with the original cut of this film, it's too long. It does drag in parts. It uses a lot more slow motion things, and there's just certain things that are going on in this film that I'm just, I'm glad that he recut it, cut out some of the stuff, kind of tightened it up a little bit for this one. And it is about 18 minutes shorter. It's just really good stuff, though. I really enjoyed this film. Yeah, great stuff. Really, really great stuff. But yeah, check it out. Cool storyline. It's just a little more complex than you would expect it to be, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. Zombie A-Hole in at number 5. In at number 4 is a film called The Hornet's Sting and the Hell It Caused. Yeah. This one right here is about a photographer that abducts. Well, this is what she does for a living. She like abducts people and kind of tortures them and dehumanizes them and does a whole pile of crazy. Oh, there's more nudity on the back. There's Dave, Mr. Parker. If you're wondering, you get to see his penis in this film. But yeah, it's one of those type of films. You could almost classify this one as torture porn, which I hate that term so much, but this one does have a lot of nudity in it. It has a lot of torture, but it's really well written, and there's a lot more to the film than you would expect it to have. And it's got a great ending too, so give this one a shot. It's got great acting, and I think there's a lot of good stuff going on in this one. The Hornet's Sting and the Hell It Caused. Great film. Absolutely love this one. Yeah, and that was number 4. In at number 3 is a film I actually reviewed on the podcast, I believe, last year. And no, I did a video review for this one. Invalid. This one is fantastic. It's kind of like Dustin's love letter to Italian cinema. It's about this girl right here. She is kind of forced to look after her invalid brother, her vegetated brother. And then as time goes by, she starts to hear his voice in her head, and he's telling her that, he needs blood and things like that. So she has to start killing for him. Pretty basic premise, but yeah, really well shot. There's a lot of, Italian type lighting in this, and, just the filmmaking is very Italian. Dustin put a lot of effort into this, and it really does show. It's a very interesting film, where you don't really know where it's going at times. It's short though, 72 minutes, but, yeah, this one sounds interesting. Definitely check it out. Of course, Dave's in this one also. Brandon Skolkill and the regulars, but yeah, really, really great stuff. Love Invalid. That was a big surprise for me. And at number 3, and at number 2 is The Ballad of Skinless Pete. It's the Blu-ray DVD. This one has also been re-released. I can't remember who released this, but it's been released under the title Skinless also. This one right here, Brandon Skolkill plays a doctor. Yeah, he's trying to find a cancer a cure for skin cancer, and he tries out this method on himself, and it does not go as planned, and it turns him into a fucking raging skinless monster. Yeah, this movie fucking blew me away when I first watched it, man. This is just amazing. I was so engulfed in the story. I loved everything about this film. Just really good stuff. Erin Ryan, of course, is in this film. She's in a couple of his films. Good friends, of course, with Dustin Mills and Dave and stuff. But Skinless Pete, definitely give this one a shot, man. It's really well done, really fantastic stuff. Absolutely love this film. If you can't find these releases, like I said, there is kind of a wider release of it under the title Skinless, so give that a shot. And I believe that there is, yeah, I think there's features on this one, commentary and stuff on the Blu-ray. If you're gonna focus on me there. I think these things were limited. I can't even remember, but yeah. Anyways, doesn't matter. In at number 2. In at number 1 is a film came out a couple years ago. Made my top 10. Loved this film, and it's called Kill That Bitch. And it's basically about this guy going around killing off this group of girlfriends and that might have some type of secret or all connected in somehow. And yeah, and that's all I'll say about the film. This one really blew me away. When you're first watching it, you're kind of going, where the fuck is this thing going? And it's not really slow. It's because it's filled with some pretty good, dialogue, and there's lots of nudity. Of course, like in every one of Dustin's films, there's just tons of tits and muff in his films. He always finds chicks that are willing to do this, but yeah, this one just kind of turns into something that you're not really expecting, and it's just fantastic. The ending it really floored me. Thought it was really well done. I love the structure of the film, and yeah, it just goes right into the credits. Even like the credits are brilliant. So, Kill That Bitch. Definitely give this a shot. It's fantastic. I couldn't recommend it enough. There's really nothing on the back kind of there. But yeah, that's gonna do it for my top 10 Dustin Mills films. Guess I'll do a quick little recap. Bath Salt Zombies number 10, Snuff It number 9, Her Name is Torment number 8, Heart Attack or Night of the Tentacles number 7, number 6, Puppet Monster Massacre, number 5, Zombie A-Hole, number 4, The Hornet's Sting and the Hell It Caused, number 3, Invalid. Number 2, Battle of Skinless Pete, aka Skinless. And number 1, Kill That Bitch. So that is going to do it for my top 10 Dustin Mills films. Yeah, if you guys have never seen any of these, definitely give him a shot, man. He's a very interesting director with a lot of really cool ideas. And this is what I love about indie cinema right here, because these ideas only come from indie filmmakers, and this is what keeps me intrigued in indie horror films and in film in general, because you would never see these type of films ever made in Hollywood, ever. Like, none of these movies would ever get made, but they're really interesting, and they're low budget, but he puts a lot of effort into these, and it shows. So, but yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I will say, if you guys want me to do the top 10 worst artworks in my collection or whatever, just leave me a line down in the comment section. Maybe I'll get around to it someday. But for now, this is what you're getting this week. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll check you guys later. Peace out, homies.